In this video, we're going to find the slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines. All right, so the first thing we want to find is, I realize my trash can's over there for some reason. We want to figure out what are the slopes on these parallel lines that are already here on the graph. And if you don't know, parallel means they will never touch. They will forever go in the same direction. And when we get to other lessons, you're going to learn that parallel lines have no solution because they never intersect. All right, so what does that mean for equations? Well, here are two equations of this red and blue parallel lines. We have y equals 2x plus 3 and y equals 2x minus 4. Do you see what the slope is? The slope, can I click it? No. There we go. The slope is 2, right here and right here. They are the same. Parallel lines have the same slope. So now let's test that. If I give you an equation like y equals 1/3 x minus 4, can you give me a parallel slope? Yeah, so parallel line slope has to be the same. They're exactly the same. Is 1/3. Because they're the same. They'll never touch, so the slope has to be the same. All right, that one's super easy. The next one is not so easy. So now what if we have perpendicular lines? And if you don't remember, perpendicular lines are lines that form right angles. So they go just like a graph, actually. This looks like a graph. They form 90-degree or right angles. And so this is one right here. You see this little box? That is telling you that these two lines are perpendicular to each other. And then they give you the equations right here. We have y equals 3x minus 1 and y equals negative 1/3 x minus 2. Now, how did they get these different slopes? You see the slopes here? The slope is, let's do it in pink, 3 here and negative 1/3 here. Well, perpendicular lines have slopes that are negative reciprocals. That means if you have 3 as your slope, you're going to change it to a reciprocal. Reciprocal is just a fancy word to flip upside down. Flip. So if you have, it's actually easier to do with a fraction. So let's take that away. Let's try one that's like 4/3. If that's your slope, you want the reciprocal, you're going to flip it upside down to 3/4. And I'll even right here, we did the reciprocal. Now they want the negative reciprocal. That means you have to add a negative sign on it. Negative 3/4. All right, and that's it. So the answer will be negative 3/4. So in this case, they took 3. There is an invisible 1 underneath of that 3. So they did 3/1, and then they took the reciprocal, which is flipping it, 1/3, and then they made it negative 1/3. And that's why you see negative 1/3 as the slope for the perpendicular line. Now, in the test or the quiz, you're going to be asked, well, if I have a line y equals, let's do 5/7x plus 3. Can you tell me the perpendicular slope? So perpendicular slope is, so now this is where we gotta get fancy. So we've got 5/7. Flip it upside down to be 7/5, and then make it negative. Negative 7/5 is the perpendicular slope, and we are done.